What we have to do today as Christians is realize that we're swimming upstream. We have to represent God to the world that doesn't know God. We have to represent the truth to a world that, like Pontius Pilate, says, what is truth?
In an earlier age, the entire culture was suffused with a Christian rhythm, Christian symbolism, Christian meaning, and that simply isn't the case now.
Catholics have to be so intentional today about keeping their faith because they're pushing up against a culture that's pushing against them. To stay where we want, we have to push against it.
Sister Lucia, who was one of the Fatima visionaries, said the decisive battle between Christ and Satan would be over marriage. But she also said to be not afraid. Our Lady has already crushed the serpent's head.
One of the extraordinary things about marriage is that you find it throughout history and throughout every culture and civilization. Why is that? Because marriage is natural to man and woman. It's natural. It's part of God's creation. It's part of nature.
Marriage has a nature as established by God, so in a way inscribed in our very bodies as male and female, but also expressing the plan of God, the order of creation, is the reality of marriage. Those who say yes to marriage are saying yes to this reality, which they did not create.
I don't think there is a philosophy, there's a religion, there's a worldview that has a higher view of sex and marriage and family than the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church teaches that a man and a woman in a marriage is to be an image, an icon, or a sign of Christ's love for the church.
In the wise plan of the Creator, the child comes into the world as the gift received by a husband and wife, and the task of receiving this child and educating this child belongs to the nature or essence of marriage.
Marriage is fundamental to every society. It leads to children flourishing and thriving. The breakdown of family always leads to the breakdown of society. We've seen this repeatedly throughout history.
Christendom is a culture where, people see with biblical lenses. There was a time, certainly in the United States, where more people than not saw everything through biblical lenses. Have we left Christendom behind? I think the answer is yes. Even those who go to church on a regular basis, I would say probably have mostly worldly minds with Catholic patches every once in a while that somehow try to overlap.
We have a naked public square now, a very secular public square, and that has an influence on an entire culture. So the major institutions of our civilization now are self-consciously secular, and if not hostile to a Christian orientation toward the world, not fostering it, not promoting it.
To live in an apostolic age means, like the early apostles, who were a small minority in a pagan society. And we have to realize that people around us have a pagan view. They don't have a Christian view of God and of the values of human life. And so we have to cherish and protect our values and be able to pass them on to our children.
Why can't families, perhaps like they could 50 years ago, just go with the flow? Go with the flow of the culture and be okay and stay strong in their faith and stay united as a family. We know that that doesn't work anymore because the flow will not take you downstream to a good place. These families from 2 generations ago, the grandparents are shocked. We did everything we thought we had to do, and our kids have left the faith, and our grandkids are a mile away from the faith. It's just a different ballgame than it was.
We were brought up loosely Christian, but it wasn't something that in any way really shaped my life. Brittany and I started dating right at the end of high school. I went to college to play soccer, then we dated long distance. They were my 2 great loves, you could say.
Taylor got drafted out of school to go play for DC United in Washington, DC. And then a little bit after I graduated, I moved out to Washington as well.
I just was on the soccer field all the time. Soccer became part of my desire for happiness. Brittany is going to Mass at this point. I'm not Catholic at all.
There was obviously like a tension in our relationship, trying to figure out what our future was going to look like.
And she goes, I'd like you to sign up for RCIA, which is the Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults. Yeah, so I'm not about that. And I say, okay, honey, like, just let me think about it, thinking like this will blow over. And then Brittany signed me up without telling me, signed up her boyfriend. And I remember sitting down in the back, just looking around, being like, what am I doing here? I hear the door open, and in walks this man in what appeared to me to be something akin to a white dress. And he was a Dominican friar.
He was like, have you ever seen one of them before?
Yeah, I was like, is that even a priest?
I was like, he might be a priest. I think he's just like a monk, maybe.
Father Thomas Joseph, I remember looking at him and being like, he has something that I deeply want. He has a peace and an ease and a joy that I hadn't seen before. And I remember looking at that and just being like, whatever he has, like, I'm interested. And over time, I'd come to eventually enjoy the classes because it was so fascinating. I had never heard any of it before. I was called into the U.S. national team for their January pool. It's a camp for the full men's national team. The highest goal, I would say, for any American-born player was becoming a reality. So I go to the camp, and I'm trying to qualify for the World Cup. We're about 10 days into the camp. I'm just sitting in the hotel room alone, and I have an absolute breakdown. And I'm just crying alone, and I don't really know what's going on. This experience like sits deeply with me, and it bothers me because that's kind of the end of the rainbow. This is the highest I could go or had thought I could go in my soccer career. Fast forward several months, and Brittany and I are at adoration, and I'm praying before Christ in the Blessed Sacrament. I felt like Christ made it very clear to me that he was saying, Taylor, I let you feel what all of your dreams are worth without me. And that moment changed my whole life. I said, Brittany, never again can I make my life about soccer. Never again can I make it about something other than God. We're engaged at this point. Life is very exciting and is good, and I have the best year of my career, largely because all of my fears and anxieties kind of fell away.
RCIA was for me like the putting together to everything that I had grown up with. We were falling into an actual love with each other, like a deeper love, while we were falling in love with God together.
The other side of this is that conversion is very difficult and messy with relationships. There were guys on my team, friendships that I had, they were not getting it and they kind of pushed me out. They felt like by me not doing some of the things that we used to be doing together that I was judging them. Then the second year, guys on my team realized like this wasn't just some passing phase. All of a sudden, there was a great curiosity and there was a real openness, and so started a Bible study with my teammates with like 2 guys. It grew to 8. There was guys signing up for RCIA. We were making trips to the cathedral in DC. It was just this incredible time. The world today, so much of our value is derived from what we do or what we produce or what we make. And that's not a Christian way of looking at things. As we look at our children, we're saying our life is more about making ourselves a gift for others.
It feels countercultural, and it feels also like a great mission. And we're gonna like raise our children in such a way that feels like we're on a battlefield, which, you know, is scary, but in God's providence, like we were made for a time such as this.
As Christians living in a post-Christian world, our job is to let Christ solve those problems through his living through us, and for us that is in marriage and family life.
To be intentional in marriage and family life means to have a sense of purpose or a deliberate plan as to how you want to live out your marriage and family.
Being intentional and purposeful in marriage is important because if you don't know where you're going, you may never get there.
It's critical to be intentional because it means you're striving towards something and not just waiting for something to happen, but really putting in the effort to make something become what it ought to be.
In order for us to believe in the good news, we have to learn what the good news is. And our church is full of resources that allows us to come to understand what marriage and family should be in the first place.
You just start in the scriptures and you read about marriage a little bit, and you read about how a couple comes together and the two become one. And then you read about a little bit of the sacrifice and what a man is supposed to do for his wife and what a woman is supposed to do for her husband.
You could just look to the saints, right? You could look to what Joseph and Mary created for our Lord. Even just look into your own family life. You have mentors and family members that you can look to and see how do they have a successful marriage and how do they have a successful family.
Finding the encouragement that you need as a Catholic family is always so much easier if you have community. So look out into the community and see who is trying to live life like you, who is trying to honor God in everything that they do, who is trying to teach their children the same things that you're trying to teach your children. Find those people, surround yourself with those people.
When our Lord talked to the apostles, many of them, it's safe to say, were not living a Christian existence. They came to it as adults. So it is never too late to come to the faith as adults. Parents will say to me, I regret. My children were 13 and 15 when I came to the faith. All those years I lost. You didn't lose those years. You now can pray for your children. It is never too late to come to the faith. It is never too late to bring Christ into your family. Let him take the work from there.
It's never too late to realize the joy and the peace and the love that comes from Christ and to incorporate it into your life and to share it with everybody else that you love. It's the greatest gift you could ever give your children. It's the greatest gift you could ever give your spouse. And it's just the greatest gift you could ever give yourself.
In a certain sense, the family doesn't need to be saved insofar as it's real and it's natural, and we didn't make it, so we don't have to gin it up or create it on our own. The family is given to us. It responds to the deepest chords of our nature. So we simply need to be faithful, listen to the way in which we're attuned, and then make a deep dive into the Christian tradition for all the resources that are there to help us be true to this deep calling that in our heart of hearts we know to be true.